Two crashes, one country. Korea's global champions under pressure, summer 2026. In the summer of 2026, two of South Korea's greatest global success stories found themselves confronting very different kinds of pressure. One was technological, Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix, two of the world's leading memory chip makers and major beneficiaries of the AI boom. The other was cultural, BTS, arguably South Korea's most successful global music act. Their stories were completely independent, but their timing created a striking parallel. By June, Korean semiconductor stocks had reached extraordinary heights, driven by intense expectations for AI-related demand. But the market had also become highly concentrated, with leveraged investment products amplifying exposure to individual stocks. When sentiment reversed, that leverage worked in the opposite direction. Samsung and SK Hynix subsequently fell roughly 40 to 50% from their June peaks, turning a spectacular boom into a dramatic correction. The basic pattern was global success, extreme expectations, concentration, leverage, amplified decline. At almost the same time, BTS was facing a very different kind of institutional tension. On June 16th, the Recording Academy announced a new Grammy category, Best Asian Pop Music Performance, covering K-pop, J-pop, C-pop, and other Asian pop music. The Academy presented it as greater recognition for Asian music. But for BTS, the new category raised a fundamental question. Does recognition through a separate category celebrate Asian music, or separate it from the mainstream? On July 29th, all 7 BTS members announced that they would not submit music for Grammy consideration. Their message was that music should be heard and loved for what it is, rather than divided by region or language. So the two stories reveal two very different problems. For the semiconductor industry, the issue was amplification. Leverage magnified both the rise and the fall. For BTS, the issue was categorization. An attempt to recognize Asian music was perceived as potentially creating a separate lane for it. There was no direct connection between these events, but together they reveal something larger about South Korea's global rise. Samsung, SK Hynix, and BTS are no longer simply successful Korean companies or artists operating within international systems. They have become global champions. And their success is beginning to expose the limitations of those systems. The semiconductor crash showed the risks of excessive concentration and financial leverage. The BTS controversy showed the tension between recognition and separation. So the real story of the summer of 2026 isn't simply that Korean tech stocks crashed while BTS rejected the Grammys. It's this, open quote, South Korea had become so successful on the global stage that its champions were increasingly challenging the frameworks built to accommodate them. Close quote. Two industries, two systems, two very different confrontations, one country becoming increasingly impossible to ignore.